Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
A new acquisition to our classic radio theater library, Barbara-Britton, Richard Denning, starring as the detectives Mr. and Mrs. North. This episode goes back to October 6, 1953. It's about Brother Danny.
That came from upstairs, Bill.
Yeah, come on.
No, wait, listen. Someone's coming.
Mr. and Mrs. North, starring Richard Denning and Barbara-Britton. Listen as Pam and Jerry solve the mystery, Brother Danny. A police car cruises down Burgess Street. Riding in it are Detective Sergeant Marty Lucas and his partner Harry Maddox. Lucas and Maddox of the 42nd Squad. Burgess Street, Lime Park, Stuyvesant Circle is their beat, and they know every inch of it. They were born here, raised here, and still live here. From every blazing neon sign over every shabby store to every shadow in every dark corner, they know it all.
Oh, 11 o'clock. Man, isn't this shift ever going to end?
Who cares?
Boy, oh boy, aren't you doubled over with laughter tonight. What's eating you anyway, Marty?
Nothing.
You need a little nightlife, boy. Hey, look, how about having a couple of beers when we knock off?
No, thanks.
Ah, come on. I'm going over to Helen's and count the wedding presents. You should see the loot, and the wedding's still a week away. Come on, how about it?
No, thanks, Harry.
Marty?
What?
Hey, you're not sore about anything, are you? I mean, sore at me or Helen?
What makes you think that?
I don't know. You've been clouding up terrain for the last
Oh,
month.
for crying out loud, Harry, will you please stop? Hey, wait a minute, Harry.
Huh? What's
Pull
matter?
up. Nightlight's out in Bruner's garage.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look.
Maybe it just burned out.
Maybe. Well, here's the office door.
Hey, didn't burn out. Look.
Jimmy. Come on.
I'll grab the light.
Okay. Hey, a window.
Yeah, out in the garage.
Come on, let's get it.
There he is, Marty. Going out the side window.
Hold it, you. Stop or we'll shoot.
Yeah, he's gone.
Come on.
Hey, Marty, there's another one in here.
Where?
Hey, you might be back. Careful, Harry. Watch yourself.
Oh, don't go yet, Bill. It's just a little after 11.
Yeah, let me at least fix you a nightcap, Bill.
Well, all right, but make it a short one.
I'll do it, Jerry.
You? Oh, Pam, dear, you've never mixed a drink in your life.
Well, that doesn't mean I can't. You stay there and talk to Bill.
Well, okay. Now, as I was saying, Bill, this manuscript I'd like you to read was written by a retired police captain in a little town... yes, Pam?
Which glasses do I use?
The ones on the middle shelf there. Well, this police captain had written a terrific...
Jerry,
Yes, dear.
do I put the ice in first or last?
First. Now, as I was saying, this police captain
Jerry,
wrote... Yes, dear.
do I put in one jigger or two?
One. Oh, now, where was I? Oh, yes, this police captain has written about two
There.
guys...
I told you I could do it. Now, what were you two talking about while I was gone?
I was telling Bill about the police captain who... Oh, well, it isn't much of a story anyway. Hello. Lieutenant Wagon? Just a minute.
Thanks, Jerry. Hello? Oh, yes, Inspector. Who? Where? Yeah, I'll get right down there.
Oh, what is it, Bill?
A detective on the 42nd Squad was killed breaking up a robbery in a garage on Burgess Street. Now, look, Jerry, I came over in a cab. Could you run me down there?
Well, of course, Bill.
Did you know the man who was killed, Bill?
Well, slightly. His name was Harry Maddox.
And we thought the guy getting away through the window was the only one, Lieutenant, but there was another one behind us. Over there on the other side of the garage.
You're lucky you didn't get it in the back, too, Lucas.
Yes?
Hey, Bill.
What? Well, Jerry, I thought Pam and you had gone.
Well, we were just leaving when a Miss Chandler arrived.
Helen, here?
Yeah, and someone from your station called her. She's in the office.
I want to see her.
Wait a minute, Sergeant. We asked her if she had anyone she wanted us to call to be with her, you know.
Well, she hasn't anyone here. She's only been in town a few months.
So she said, and she shouldn't be alone, so Mrs. North and I suggested she come home with us.
Well, that's swell of you, Mr. North.
Well, come on, let's go see her. See you later, Bill.
Right, Jerry.
Helen.
Oh, Marty. Oh, Marty, they won't let me see him.
He's gone now, Helen.
I'll bring my car around to the door, Sergeant.
I'll come with you, Jerry.
Car's down this way. Well, come on down.
I'm sorry.
What in the world were you thinking about so hard?
The way Sergeant Lucas looked at Miss Chandler.
Hmm?
Darling, he's in love with her.
Oh, Pam.
He is, Jerry. I'm sure of it.
Ma, will you leave me alone? I said I don't want any breakfast.
But you can't go to school.
Leave me alone.
Danny, what's the matter with you?
Nothing. I'm just not hungry. Marty isn't home, huh?
No, and I'm worried. He usually calls.
Forget it. He's a big, brave cop.
Danny, Marty's your brother, and you
Sure, I know. Blood's thicker than water and all that stuff. Well, here comes New York's finest now. I gotta blow. I'm going out the back way. See you later, Ma.
Marty?
Yeah, Ma.
Where you been all night? I've been worried.
I'm sorry, Ma. I should have called. Got some coffee?
Yes.
Thanks. Ma,
Yes?
Harry Maddox was killed last night.
Killed. Oh, Marty.
Now, look, Ma, don't use this to tee off on me again about quitting the force. I know the speech by heart. Look what happened to Dad. It might have been me last night instead of Harry, and some night it will be me instead of the other guy.
And it will, Marty.
Please, Ma, let's not go through it again. Not now.
For 15 years, I spent every day waiting for your father to come home, wondering if he would come home. I'd watch him put his revolver in this drawer. And then one night, I had to put it away for him.
It's been cleaned.
What?
Dad's gun, it's been cleaned, and just recently there's oil on the barrel, still fresh.
Well, Danny must
He was
have...
told not to monkey around with Dad's gun.
Yes, I know. I'll speak to him again.
I'll speak to him myself.
All right, Marty. Now, please, let me fix you some breakfast. Just a bite.
Okay, Ma, I'll go wash.
I'll have it ready in just a minute.
Ma,
What?
Danny go out to the movies again last night?
Red, it's me, Danny.
Come in.
You seen the newspapers?
Yeah, I seen him.
Every cop in town's looking for us.
Including your big brother, I suppose.
Why'd you do it, Red? Why'd you plug him?
Shut up.
You could have gotten out of there without killing him. I shouldn't have let you have the gun. I should have...
Shut up. Now listen, you little punk. You gotta hang on to yourself. You understand? You gotta do just like I say.
Okay, Red.
Put the gun back.
Yeah.
Cleaned?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're going to school today.
I can't, Red.
Shut up and listen. You're going to school and I'm going to work. Just like nothing happened. Just like it was yesterday or last week or last year.
Maybe we ought to get out of town, Red.
Don't be a sap.
But if they'll send us to the chair if
Not me, they won't. No cop's ever going to take me. Not alive. If they come after me, I'll take a few of them with me before I go.
Red.
I mean it. I got nothing to lose. Not a thing.
Come in, Sergeant. I'll tell Miss Chandler you're here.
Thanks.
Sergeant Lucas is here, Miss Chandler.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. North.
I'll be in Mr. North's study if you want anything.
All right.
Hello, Helen.
Hello, Marty. It's nice of you to come.
I thought maybe there was something I could do for you.
No, there's nothing. Is there any news? Have they found the men who...
No, but they will.
In a way, I hope they don't.
Why?
I think if I ever saw those men, Just got a glimpse of them in jail or in court or somewhere. I'd kill them if I could.
Helen, don't talk like that. You don't mean it.
I think I do.
Well, you've got to think of yourself, Helen. You still have a life to live.
What kind of a life is it going to be now?
A good one. It can be a good one, Helen. Look, I know it's a little too soon to say this, but, well, I want you to know that Harry wasn't the only one in love with you.
Oh, Marty.
Someday
Marty, please don't.
All right, Helen. I won't say any more right now.
I'll answer it. Hello? What? Why, yes, he is, Bill. Just a moment. It's for you, Sergeant. Lieutenant Reagan.
Oh, thanks. Hello, Lieutenant.
Lucas, the temporary assignment to homicide you asked for has been okayed.
Good.
On one condition.
Yes, sir.
You're a cop, Lucas, and you don't forget it. What you do forget is that Maddox was your friend. That you ever knew him or saw him or talked to him. There's nothing personal about this. This is a murder case.
Yes, sir, I understand.
Okay.
Lieutenant, is there anything new?
Just one thing about the gun that killed Maddox. Ballistics hasn't finished running its test on the slugs yet, but we know this much. They came from a .38 caliber police special.
Marty,
Yeah.
did Lieutenant Wyatt get in touch with...
Danny here.
Why, yes, in his room. Marty, there's something...
Danny,
What?
come out here.
What do you want?
Come out here.
Marty,
Okay. What's...
Come on.
Hey, what's the idea? Let go.
Move. In the kitchen.
Let go of me.
Keep moving.
You gone nuts or something? Let go.
All right, get in there.
Martin, what are you doing?
You'll find out. Now open that drawer, Danny. Open it. Now pick up that gun.
No,
Pick it up.
I won't.
What's the matter, you rotten little... You afraid?
Let go of me. Let go.
Okay.
What is this all about, Martin?
He killed Harry Maddox
Kill.
with Dad's gun.
Danny!
No, I didn't do it, I swear.
Stop lying.
No.
Stop it, Martin, stop it. Danny, tell the truth. Did you kill Harry Maddox?
No.
I want the truth, Danny.
I was in Bruner's last night, yeah, but
Danny!
I didn't shoot Maddox. It was Red.
Red?
Red Dublin.
I know Dublin. How'd you get tangled up with him?
I met him hanging around Murphy's joint on Burgess Street.
Oh, Danny.
Okay, Danny, get your coat.
What are you going to do?
Do, I'm taking him in.
No.
Ma,
If he says he didn't kill Harry Maddox, I believe him.
whether he's the one who actually shot Harry's beside the point. He was robbing Bruner.
He's
just
my
as guilty.
son. My son. That's all I care about. Will arresting Danny bring Harry Maddox back? No. And if it would, Martin, you wouldn't arrest him.
What?
You're glad Harry Maddox is dead.
Glad?
Because of Helen Chandler. You love her and want her, and you always have, and now maybe you can have her. And that's why you're glad Harry's dead.
Ma, you're crazy. Harry was my friend.
And Danny's your brother. Go ahead, Martin. You can prove I'm wrong. That down inside you're not glad Harry's dead. You can prove it very easily. All you have to do is arrest Danny. Well, Martin?
Thanks, Ma.
Don't thank me. I didn't do it for you. I did it for all of us. What's left of us?
October 6, 1953, Mr. and Mrs. North on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
You know, it's true. Difficult times have a way of focusing us. We have to think about what matters most when it comes to our spending, our health care. No doubt. This is why so many people are joining MediShare right now. MediShare is a trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly healthcare costs. More than 400,000 people have already made the switch. It's pretty obvious why, too, especially now during this challenging season with healthcare costs and out-of-pocket expenses going up. MediShare can save you a lot of money. The typical family saves $500 a month. And MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that's worked beautifully for 29 years. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Maybe now is the perfect time to make the switch and start saving. Here you go. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
On past classic radio theater programs, we've talked about Richard Denning. Barbara-Britton, who is playing Mrs. North in this, is best known for her Western roles opposite Randolph Scott, Joel McCrea, and Gene Autry. And she was also Pam North on both the television and radio versions of Mr. and Mrs. North. Let's get back to Mr. and Mrs. North, October 6, 1953, Brother Danny.
Well, Bill, come on in.
Oh, thanks. Glad I found you home, Jerry.
Pam, it's Bill.
Bill, what are you doing here?
Looking for Marty Lucas?
Oh, he left here hours ago. What did you want to see him about?
We know whose gun it was that killed Harry Maddox.
Oh, and you arrested the man?
Oh, no, Pam. The man who owned the gun has been dead 12 years.
What?
He was a policeman. Marty Lucas's father.
Father?
Yes. Lucas's father and a man he was trying to arrest killed one another in a gunfight. And as a matter of routine, a ballistics test was run on Lucas's gun. Now, the slug taken from the man Lucas's father killed matches the slugs that killed Maddox.
Well, do you know what happened to the gun?
Well, I understand it was returned to Mrs. Lucas.
Gollies.
Oh, what's the matter, Pam?
Do you think it's possible that Marty Lucas killed Harry Maddox?
Oh,
Well, he could have been carrying his father's revolver instead of his own for days or weeks, maybe, waiting for the kind of situation where he could kill Harry Maddox.
But why would he want to kill Maddox?
Well, I don't know, except, well, he's in love with Helen Chandler.
Now, you're just guessing at that, Pam.
Last night I was, but today I heard Marty Lucas admit it to Miss Chandler. I didn't mean to listen, but...
But you did.
Well, not exactly.
Oh, darling, for a woman who never exactly listens, you hear an awful lot.
Is Miss Chandler still here?
Yes.
Well, I want to talk to her.
Oh, this is fantastic, Bill.
Well, perhaps, but it won't do any harm to ask Miss Chandler a few questions.
Miss Chandler? Miss Chandler! Well, that's funny. Why doesn't she answer?
Well, let's find out.
Well, she isn't here.
Well, she was just a few minutes ago, and she couldn't have gone without us seeing her.
Oh, yes, she could, dear.
The window.
Right. Out the window, across the balcony, and down the fire escape. But why?
I think I know. Come on, we've got to get over to Marty Lucas's right away.
Here we are, Jerry. Pull up. Well, this may be a wild goose chase. I was here about an hour ago, and no one was home. Lucas lives here with his mother and younger brother. Upstairs, second floor rear.
Gollies, I hope...
That came from upstairs, Bill.
Yeah, come on.
Wait, listen.
It's Miss Chandler.
Miss Chandler, what is it?
It's Marty. He's dead. He's been stabbed to death.
And then when nobody answered the bell, I tried the door. It was unlocked, and I came in, and I saw Marty.
And then you screamed and ran out of here and bumped into us.
Yes.
Mrs. Lucas, when was the last time you saw your son?
About 4 o'clock this afternoon.
I see. And where were you this evening?
I went for a walk.
And you, son, were you here when your brother got home?
No, sir.
Miss Chandler, why did you sneak out of the North's apartment?
I heard you and Mr. and Mrs. North talking.
I gathered that.
When I heard Mrs. North say it might have been Marty who killed Harry, I came over to find out for myself if it was true.
Why?
I don't know why.
Well, then maybe I can tell you, Miss Chandler. You came here, hid your suspicions from Marty Lucas, and then when the opportunity arose, you took a knife from the kitchen and stabbed him in the back.
Oh, no, that's not true.
And then when you started to leave, you heard Mr. and Mrs. North and me, and to try to divert suspicion from yourself, you screamed, pretending you'd just seen Lucas's body.
No, I didn't kill him. I didn't kill him.
Mrs. Lucas, do you know of anyone aside from Miss Chandler who had a motive to kill your son?
Well, Ma?
No, Lieutenant. No one.
Oh, Pam, I'm so tired. I can hardly wait to get to bed.
Well, we have to take Miss Chandler's things to her. We promised.
Yeah. Well, then let's get the bag packed, get it down to headquarters, and get home. I'm dead.
Come on.
Hey, where is her bag?
In the closet.
No, I'll get it.
Open it up on the bed.
Okay. Now, there we are, Pam. Well, hey, what have we got here?
What?
Hey, look on the suitcase.
Well, for heaven's sake, a gun.
Yeah, one of the cutest snub-nosed, pearl-handled automatics I've ever seen. Miss Chandler obviously didn't believe in traveling light.
Jerry, is it loaded?
Let's see. Oh, like the 5 o'clock subway.
Darling, this proves it.
Proves what?
That Helen Chandler didn't kill Marty Lucas.
Whoa, now wait a minute.
It does. If Helen Chandler had gone to see Marty Lucas with any intention of killing him, she certainly would have taken this, wouldn't she?
Pam, I think you're right.
Darling, we have to tell Bill about this.
He sent Miss Chandler down to headquarters with Sergeant Donahue, so we may still be at the Lucas apartment.
Well, on our way, let's stop there first. Come on, darling, and bring that gun.
Danny? Danny?
Come in, Mom.
Were you asleep, Danny?
No, I was just lying here, thinking.
I've been thinking, too, Danny.
You can't do it, can you, Ma?
How did you know?
I could tell.
October 6, 1953, Mr. and Mrs. North on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of Mr. and Mrs. North, starring Barbara-Britton and Richard Denning, October 6, 1953.
Even when you were lying to the lieutenant for me, I knew you couldn't go on lying very long. And even if you wanted to, I wouldn't let you. That's what I've been thinking about.
Oh, Danny.
I shouldn't have let you stop Marty from taking me in. I'm going to give myself up now.
First the father, and then Martin. Now you.
Oh, don't cry, Ma.
What happened to us?
It's my fault. I kept thinking how you had to work, how we never had nothing after Pa died, and how we never would. You'd never get rich being a dressmaker, and neither would Marty being a cop. I figured it was up to me. But that was just an excuse. I wasn't thinking of you or Marty or anyone except myself. But look, Ma, I didn't kill Marty. I wouldn't have done it. You gotta believe me.
I believe you, Danny. I wouldn't have lied for you if I didn't.
Come on, Ma. I'll telephone Lieutenant White.
Put down that phone, Danny.
Red,
Put it down.
how'd you get in here?
First time I picked the lock on the back door. This time I used the key.
Martin's key.
I see you got yourself a gun of your own now, Red.
Put that phone down, Danny.
Why'd you kill Marty?
Found out he was looking for me. Maybe to arrest me. Maybe just to kill me. I don't know. But I had to do something, so I came up here and waited for him. It's either him or me.
What do you want now?
I just came up to see what the cops had to say.
It doesn't make any difference what they say, Red. I'm giving myself up.
No, you're not, Danny.
He is.
You want him to go to the chair?
He won't if he gives himself up.
You can't be sure of that.
I'll take my chances.
You're not getting any chances, Danny. Remember what I said. I got nothing to lose. You pick up that phone and you're dead.
Well, I don't see Bill's car around, Pam.
Well, let's check the Lucas apartment anyway.
Yeah, okay. I'll get the door.
Thank you.
We probably should have telephoned and found out.
Jerry!
Gunshot.
It came from upstairs.
Come on, Pam, let's...
Jerry, wait, listen. Someone's coming.
Pam, turn off that light.
All right.
What the...
Jerry, it's a man. I can't see him, but...
Yes, and he can't see us. Shh.
Who turned off that light?
Get Helen Chandler's gun out of your purse, Pam.
All right.
Come on, come on. Who is it?
Here, Jerry.
All right, now get back behind the stairs.
What are you going to do?
Quiet, Pam.
Listen. Whoever you are down there, get out of my way. I got a gun.
What do you think I've got?
You're cops.
That shot went into the ceiling, fella, but the next one will be on the level.
Jerry, he's going back upstairs.
You stay here, Pam.
No, I'm coming with you.
Stay where you are, Red. And drop that gun.
Danny!
Drop it, Red. I got Marty's gun. I'm just itching to use it on you.
Pam, listen.
That's Marty Lucas's
Don't
brother.
shoot, don't shoot, Danny. There's cops downstairs. Don't shoot.
Then drop that gun.
All right. All right, there.
Come on, let's get up there, Pam.
Mr. and Mrs. North.
Oh, Danny, you're hurt.
No, I'm okay. Red here doesn't shoot very good unless he's shooting a guy in the back.
What do you mean?
Go telephone Lieutenant Wyatt. You'll hear all about it when he gets here.
You think it'll go hard on Danny Lucas, Bill?
Well, it won't go easy, Jerry. Reformatory until he's 21, probably, and then a few years of probation. Yeah, it'd have been a lot tougher for him if he hadn't turned against Red Dublin and actually risked his life to give himself up. But, hey, gosh, look at the time. I'd better go.
Oh, wait, Bill. Do you have any plans for dinner?
Well, no,
Well,
but
then stay and have it with us.
Hey, that's a swell idea. And look, I'll be the chef.
You?
What's the matter?
Well, I don't like to say this, darling, but you're not a very good cook.
Oh, no? Oh, well, Bill can tell you differently. Remember the meals I stirred up on our hunting trip last fall, Bill?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, I'll make another of those hunter stews I cooked up. You remember that stew, Bill?
Oh, yes, very well. We had it for dinner our last night out.
Oh, that's right. Gosh, that was a swell trip. You know, it's too bad you got sick and we had to cut it short. I wonder what it was that hit you the way it did.
Well, I can't imagine.
October 6, 1953, Mr. and Mrs. North on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of the soap opera Claudia. This episode originally broadcast October 6, 1948.
Your Coca-Cola bottler presents Claudia, based on the famous play and novels by Rose Franken. Brought to you transcribed Monday through Friday by your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. Relax, and while you're listening, refresh yourself. Have a Coke. And now, Claudia.
David, what are you leaning over like that for?
I'm tying my shoelace.
But that is what I'm here for. You're not supposed to lean over.
Can't I even tie my own little shoelace?
No, you can't. Men who've had concussions don't.
Since when?
Since always. Now, sit up.
Can't even tie my own shoelace.
Oh, shut up.
That's a nice way to talk to a man who's just out of the hospital.
Aha, now you're feeling sorry for yourself.
Darn right I am. Can't even tie my own shoelace.
There. Now, sit back on the sofa.
I am, ma'am.
Cushion's all right, sir?
Oh, go away.
There. Oh, it's certainly a beautiful day out, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Look how bright the sun's shining. Still, it's not hot.
It's fall.
The first fall in Eastbrook, darling.
Yep, that's it.
Listen to that bird right outside the window.
Where is it?
So cheerful. Oh, I hope they don't go soft till late this year. I miss the singing.
They'll probably miss your chattering, too.
Wonder what he's so happy about.
Oh, it's a beautiful fall day, and he's out in it, flying around. The sky's the limit.
Must be nice being a bird. Especially a lovebird.
Say, why don't you go out, darling?
Now, what do I want to go out for? I can go out any time. There'll be lots of perfect fall days to go out, and there'll be lots of days when you won't be around for me to sit with. So I'm staying right here beside you.
All right, just as you like.
Beside you, ensconced in... How do you like that word, ensconced?
Ensconced. That's a 75-cent word,
At least. With you ensconced right beside the open windows, just like being out and in at the same time.
Do all of your silver linings have clouds, Mrs. Norton?
Not today. Today, everything is silver lining. No clouds. Because you're home, because you look a lot healthier than you did yesterday. Because
I thought you told me that I looked wonderful yesterday.
Well, maybe I exaggerated a little. Today you look even more like you.
I don't know how good that is.
Perfect.
No.
Oh, David, I missed you so when you were in the hospital. I'm not ever going to be separated from you again.
Is that final?
Absolutely final.
Final.
After all, it took a car accident to separate us, and since we're not going to have another one, we're safe. Knock wood.
It's awfully sweet of you, darling, to stay with me all the time like this, but don't you have something to do?
You trying to get rid of me?
Might be.
No, thanks. I had plenty of time to do all the things I had to do when you were at the hospital.
Well, what about the baby?
Oh, Mama's taking care of Bobby.
Oh.
I'm giving him a vacation from me.
He probably needs it.
Probably does. David, if you lean out the window a little ways, you can watch the men at work on the barn.
Yeah, I was watching them this morning, but...
It's not comfortable leaning out the window, is it?
It's not very comfortable either, watching the barn go up without you.
Still feeling sorry for yourself?
More than ever.
Good.
Why good?
Because you wouldn't be enough man for me if you weren't impatient. Look, here comes Fritz with the wheelbarrow.
What's he doing?
Well, I think he's going to clear the south meadow. He said if the weather held, he was going to do it today.
The way that man works.
He's worth 6. Hey, Fritz, come on over here to the window a minute.
Hello, Mrs. Norton. Hello, Mr. Norton.
Hello, Fritz.
You're feeling better?
Oh, I'm feeling fine.
Yes, you have the look of a man who is home again. Hospitals may get you well, but they never get you healthy. Not the way the home does.
Well, I certainly wish I were out there cleaning that meadow with you, Fritz.
Oh, yes, you will be soon.
Well, not a minute too soon, I'll tell you
But
that.
you must take your time. One does not monkey with a concussion of the brain, or else one has a great deal of trouble.
I know. Or I wouldn't let myself be crippled like this.
Well, I better be on my way. The shadows are getting longer.
Now, take it easy, Fritz.
Oh, yes. When I work, I always take it easy.
Oh, yes, your idea of taking it easy.
See you later.
Oh, I come in after dinner. We discuss the cow.
Good, good.
Where's Bertha, Fritz?
She's hanging up the laundry in the back of the house.
Thanks.
Everybody busy, 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 busy. Mama's bathing Bobby. Fritz is clearing the south meadow. Paradiso rebuilding my barn. Bertha hanging up the laundry, and I can't even tie my own shoelace.
You're busy, too, darling.
Oh, up to my ears.
You're not only busy getting well, but you're busy entertaining me. That's a full-time job.
You're funny.
Funny how? Funny attractive? Funny nice or funny peculiar?
Funny.
Well, that's funny. Would you like to play checkers or something?
I would not.
I'd love to play checkers. You always told me when you had time you'd make an expert on
Well, I don't have that much time, I hope.
David, can't you understand that even though you're not enjoying this, I am?
I always thought you were a fine little actress.
Oh, you're impossible. Stubborn, that's why.
Everything you say is so.
I never believed that a few days in a hospital would change a man so. David, how'd you like a glass of milk?
I would not like a glass of milk. Don't tell me it's good for me.
But it is.
That settles it. I'll not drink another glass of milk as long as I live.
Honestly. It's a good thing that women aren't men. They'd never have babies.
Say that again?
Well, they just wouldn't be able to go through with it if they were men.
No.
And you can drop that left eyebrow, Mr. Norton. You know perfectly well what I mean.
How right you are.
Wonder who that is. Guess I better go see.
Guess you better.
Hello. Why, hello, Jimmy.
I'm glad to see you again, Mrs. Norton.
Well, I'm glad to see you too, Jimmy.
I've come to visit Mr. Norton.
Well, that's awfully nice of you, but,
Is he home?
Oh, yes, he's home. He's in the living room.
Oh, that's swell. I was afraid he wouldn't be home.
Well, he'll be home for a little while longer.
Oh, can I see him?
Well, I tell you, you wait here and I'll go and see if he's busy. He might be busy.
Okie doke. How's your little baby, Mrs. Norton?
Oh, he's growing fast, Jimmy. Maybe someday he'll be old enough to play with you.
Oh, he'll never catch up with me. He's too little.
I'll be right back, Jimmy. David, it's a visitor for you.
Who is it?
Jimmy. The little boy you went fishing with, remember?
What's he doing here?
Well, he's come to visit with you. He was so pleased when I told him you were home.
He's a nice kid.
How about seeing him? He's come all the way over here.
I suppose I should.
Good. I'll tell him to come in. He won't stay too long, darling. I can hint very subtly when I have to. Come on in, Jimmy. Mr. Norton's right here in the living room. David, you have a visitor.
Swell. Hi there, Mr. Norton. It's sure swell to see you.
Well, I'm going to leave you two for a minute. I have to go out and talk to Bertha.
Well, Jimmy, how come you're not out playing baseball with the boys? How come you're here? Hasn't school started?
Oh, sure. School started for weeks already. But I'm not allowed to play baseball yet.
Why not? What's the matter?
Oh, I had the measles. And my ma says I gotta take it easy for a while. You know how women are.
Yes, I know how women are.
I feel fine. Been up and around for a week already. But my ma, she says I'll get sick again if I get myself overheated or something. Women worry an awful lot. So I figure it's easier just to do what my ma says.
Of course, the course of least resistance you've learned young.
Say, what are you doing home, Mr. Norton? I just came over here on a chance, but I didn't really expect that you'd be here.
Well, I'm following the course of least resistance, too. I was in a car accident a couple weeks ago.
You were?
Mm-hmm.
Gee.
Yeah, I ended up in the hospital.
Say, what do you know?
Oh, I wasn't very sick or anything, but I had to stay in the hospital for a little while.
Gee willikers. That sounds a lot more important than the measles. You mean you were in a car accident and you lived?
Well, it looks that way.
My ma, she always tells me to watch out or I'll be killed. But, say, you must be awful strong. Tell me about it.
Oh, there's not much to tell. My car got hit by another car, and next thing I knew I was in the hospital. Now I'm home, and that's all there is to it.
You have to take it easy, too, huh?
For a while.
Gosh, that's swell. We can take it easy together. I've been looking for somebody like me, but, gee, I'm awful glad you're around. I've been kind of looking for something to do.
I've been kind of that way myself, Jimmy.
The days sure do seem awful long when there's so many things you can't do.
Well, the days go by, and pretty soon you've forgotten that they even existed.
Well, I guess so. Trouble is, I guess I hate to miss so much of what's going on.
They'll still be going on when you're ready for them to be.
I hope so.
Every now and then it's kind of good not to be doing everything yourself.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
How? I don't seem to think it's so good.
Well, it makes you appreciate them more. Look at this beautiful day, for instance. If I were out in it, I'd be so busy working on the barn or in the fields, I probably wouldn't have time to think about what a swell day it is. But sitting here and nothing else to do, I can smell the air and look at the leaves and rustling of the trees, and I have time to say to myself, what a day. And think of all your friends who are playing baseball. Do you like the boys?
Oh, they're all right.
What are their names?
Oh, well, there's Tom and there's Harry and Mike.
Are they good friends of yours?
Well, I see 'em a lot.
But you don't even think about them, do you?
Not much.
But today you're wishing that you were out in the sandlot playing baseball with them, don't you? Now, when you think of Mike, he seems like a pretty good fellow to you, doesn't he?
He sure can hit that ball. He plays third base.
Well, when you see Mike tomorrow now, he'll be your pal.
I guess so.
That's what I meant about liking things more because you can't have them.
Oh, I see.
So do I now.
You play ball?
Used to.
What position?
First base.
That's what I play.
Say, a really exciting thing happened to me once. I was at the opening game at the Yankee Stadium a few years ago, and I caught a ball in the center field bleachers.
You did?
That's the honest truth. There I was, sitting right there in the center field, minding my own business, when all of a sudden, way down there at home plate, Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth?
The babe hits the ball, and out it sails.
And you caught the ball?
Well, I got the ball. Would you like to see it?
Would I? You bet I would.
Claudia.
Yes, David?
Claudia, you know that baseball that's in the top left-hand drawer over there. You want to bring it over to me?
Oh, sure, I'll get it. Gee, Mr. Norton. Babe Ruth. Can I touch it?
You sure can. Here, thanks, Aunt. Now, here, you can wrap your fingers around that one. And you can tell your friends that they're shaking the hand that held the ball that broke up the game when the Bambino SWAT knocked it into the bleachers.
Holy mackerel.
Holy mackerel is right. Jimmy, you know you're the best medicine in the world for Mr. Norton.
And because you're such good medicine, we're going to give you that ball for your own very own to keep,
A ball hit by Babe Ruth. Gee willikers.
Youth has its favorite tunes, its favorite costumes, its favorite books. And when young people are out for a good time, ice-cold Coca-Cola is what they order. Coke is what they like at home, too, for their own pleasure and as a hospitable greeting to their friends. Keep plenty of Coke on hand, and your home is likely to rate high with a junior set.
Swell guy, that Mr. Norton, isn't he?
Oh, I think he's the best, Jimmy.
Can you beat it? I'm going to get a ball hit by Babe Ruth.
Oh, that certainly is something, boy.
It sure is. What did I do to get it?
Oh, have you ever tried to explain something to somebody else and, in explaining, understood it better yourself?
Yeah.
Well, that's what you did for David. You let him understand better.
And that's all I did. Boy, I got some present for doing little.
Well, actually, presents, Jimmy, don't have to be deserved at all. They're just for giving. But come again tomorrow. David needs company, or he'll get himself into trouble.
Into trouble?
So much time on his hands, you know. Tomorrow, for instance, a little trouble with the telephone company.
Boy.
Well, we'll find out more about it tomorrow. So long, Jimmy. Every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir. And remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. And ice-cold Coca-Cola is everywhere. This broadcast of Claudia was supervised and directed by William Brown Maloney.
October 6th, 1948, Claudia on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Please thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite station. And if you miss a day, you don't have to miss a single episode of Classic Radio Theater. You can find them all at my webpage, classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. There you can stream our shows on demand. You can find links to social media sites where you can download our shows. You can find our social media links there as well. You can learn more about building a classic radio collection. You can contact me, and you can even buy me a coffee. That Buy Me a Coffee money goes to acquire additional classic radio collections like Mr. and Mrs. North that we brought you here earlier. You can find all that and help us acquire new shows by going to classicradio.stream. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.